Okay, so in Dashakam 54, the story of Kaliya begins as snake who comes and lives in Yamuna Nadi. And next is now the Kaliya Nartam. Athava Renigorataram Phaninam. Finally, the Lord decides to Athavarani Ghorataram Phaninam. That serpent who was there, finally the Lord decides to get rid of this serpent, and what he did was, when he saw many of his friends and cows being affected, he climbed on a nearby tree. The name of the tree was a Kadamba tree, and he jumped into the river. It seems that the leaves of the tree had also become poisonous due to the impact of this serpent. And finally, he leaped into the deep waters. Hridavarani. He leaped. Dhuratara Nyapataha. Verse number 2, Dashakam 55, wherein the Lord jumped into the waters. And it seems that the entire world was jumping, it seems, because whenever we jump into water or we put something into water, water splashes out, right? So when the Lord of the universe jumps into the water, obviously the entire world is going to shake. And the water also started to swirl here and there. And suddenly there was a loud roar which came in all the other directions, and this finally, it seems that now the serpent who was there was deep inside water, so he didn't know what had happened, and so he knew that okay, something has disturbed, and he came out of the water suddenly, it seems, and was very angry when he saw that who had come and what had come. And it seems that the Lord saw Panashanga Sahasra Vinesramara, thousands of heads, Sahasra, thousands of hoods the serpent had, and the Lord saw this fierce face. And finally, the serpent who was there was also emitting poison out of his mouth, and the body of Krishna became full of poison, it seems, poison and heat that was coming out of the mouth. The Somehow it seems that the Lord made his movements invisible also, so that he can Bhavantamananta Balam Asputa Chestamaho. Somehow the Lord, the Kaliya or serpent, what it did was it went round the body of uh, Krishna, and while Krishna was about to attack him, the body of the Lord, or the Lord, could not be seen at all because the serpent had covered him from all sides. Finally, now all the Gopa boys, cows also, they started worrying that they could not see the Lord any longer, and they all went to the bank of the river Yamuna. Now they didn't know that Krishna had jumped into Yamuna Nadi, and that's when finally they felt that maybe Krishna would have gone somewhere nearby, but they could not find the Lord. That's when it seems that even the Gopas who were there, Vrajage Hatalepi Animitta Shatam, Animitaha, evil omens. People in Gokula also started experiencing evil omens, it seems, and they also rushed towards Yamuna Nadi. That's when all of them come to the banks of the Yamuna and see that Kaliya had caught hold of Krishna. The child could not be seen at all. That's when all of them became very sad, and it seems that all were ready to give up their lives. Jiha Sushujiva Baram, verse number 8. They all were ready to jump into waters and give up their life in order to save the Lord. But somehow, with a smile also, Ashu Vimuchya, somehow the Lord freed himself from the clutches of the serpent, and he mounted on the hood of the serpent and he started dancing. He started dancing on the hoods of the serpent, and the Lord had worn Kalashin Chitanupura. The Lord had worn small anklets. So while he was dancing, the anklets were making a nice sound also. And thus, along with that, Karakankana Sankula, also he was wearing bangles. So when the Lord was moving here and there, very nice sound of the bangles and anklets was there. People became very happy. This is the beauty of Kali and Artana. Finally, Bhattatri concludes saying that as you danced, all the gopas were very happy, the sages were very happy, the gods in heaven started showering flowers on you. Similarly, O Lord of Guruvayur, please save me from my ill. Samam Twamadantagadat, from my illness and ailments, kindly free me. With this, Dashakam 55 comes to an end. Dashakam 56, further what happens is, for a long time or so, Kali Anartanam takes place. The Lord starts continuous dancing for a long period of time. And it seems that while the gods started showering flowers, they also Dundubi Sundaram, they also started playing, beating drums, it seems, in their happiness. And that's when the damsels, Apsaras who were there, they also started dancing. That is in joy. So all of them who were present, they all started expressing their joy. Now what happened is, now there were thousand of heads for the Kalia, right? For the serpent. One by one, it seems that Amushya Shiraha. One by one, the Lord went on every head and started dancing, it seems. So Kalia used to raise one hand, other head he used to put down because he became tired that the Lord was dancing on that. And the Lord also, hood after hood, he used to go and dance, it seemed, uh, with his beautiful feet, and people around started clapping. And thus, one by one, all the hoods of the snake were crushed, it seems. Blood started flowing from there. Entire Yamuna Nadi became red. Galita Shonita, Shonita Pathasi, Shonita red. Finally, Kalia, the serpent king, became very, very exhausted. And it seems that Tavama Sannata Tada Abalaha Tavama Davabadayu. The wives of the serpent, they surrendered to the Lord, it seems. They and said that please forgive our husband. And here it seems that now here what how the wife of Kalia, how they knew about the Lord, it seems that from a long period of time, long ago, these wives of the serpent, they were great devotees of the Lord, it seems, and they all used to sing the praises of the Lord. And that's when Karunarasam, compassion, Panivadho Gana Bhakti Vilokana, Ravikasat Karuna Kula Chetasaha. Compassion, Karuna filled the mind of the Lord when the wives of Kalia were praying to him. And thus later the Lord forgave Kalia, and Kalia serpent also surrendered to the Lord. Finally, he told that you go Ramanakam Vraja. Kanya was told along with his family to go to an island called Ramanaka, which is situated in the center of the ocean. So there they live with their family also, it will not cause any trouble. And there he also assured that Garuda will not do any harm to you. Paniripuhu, the enemy of snakes, Garuda will not cause any harm to you. And thus, respecting and obeying the words of the Lord, the serpent king, he departed from there. Finally, what happened is, so here Phanivadhu Jana Dattamani Vraja, the wives of Kaliya, they gifted the Lord lot of precious gems also, it seems, lot of necklaces, garments, this, that. And wearing all this, the Lord gave darshana to the people who were waiting there on the banks, Yashoda, Nanda, the various Gopas. So again, a very beautiful darshana. All were shedding happy tears looking at this Kaliya Leela of the Lord. Now what happened is, already now it had become night time, this darkness. Now in those times, in late evening also, if it became dark, it used to become difficult to travel back. So what happened is, all of them, they were not able to go back to their houses. They all slept on the banks of the Yamuna only, in the shelter of your feet. Swapati Tatra Avacharanashraye. The Lord was there to protect all of them. And suddenly at that time, what happened is, Davakrishanuhu, suddenly a forest fire built up. Now again, because of that forest fire, people started running here and there, and suddenly people were shouting, save us also. And it seems that to protect the people, Papata Mahanalam, the Lord ended up drinking, you can say gulping, that entire forest fire. And here Bhattatri says that what is so surprising? Ki iha chitram ayam khalute mukham. Your mouth itself is fire. That is, Agni Bhagwan represents your mouth. So what is so great when you ended up drinking that forest fire? Thus saved people. Now here Shikhini Varanata eva hipitata parilasati. Here what the Lord says is, or here Bhattatri what he says is, Pitaha, this word that is there, Pitaha is actually yellow. It is an adjective for the fire, right? Because fire, if you say, is yellowish golden color that is there. But it seems that Pitaha also meaning that which is meant to be drunk. So because it was drunk by you, that's how we say Pitaha, or that's how fire attained this color, it seems. So thus, just as yesterday we saw Jambukaha, another name for Varuna Bhagwan. So because Jambukaha, those jackals were killed, Varuna Bhagwan got this name. Similarly, here Pitaha, that which is meant to be drunk. The Lord's mouth is full of fire, that is Agni Bhagwan. So therefore, fire itself has got this name. Fire itself has got this adjective. Yeah. So one you can consider in two aspects: yellow color, Pitaha. Second aspect is drunk, because here in this Leela, the Lord ended up gulping or drinking the forest fire. Thus, all the Gopas who are there, Pashupai Muditaihi, all the cowherds, they were delighted. They started praising the Lord. Thus, finally, Bhattatri concludes, Hare Duritai Sahame Gadan, Kandi eradicate or Kandi remove my ailments also, along with my sins, he says. Duritai saha. Because now Bhattatri realizes that everything that is happening is not that I am the best and whatever happening to me is wrong. There are so many sins that I have committed knowingly, unknowingly. Oh Lord, along with my ailments, I don't want to pray to you separately. So along with my ailments, kindly remove all my sins also. Duritai saha. With this, Dashakam 56 concludes. Next, Dashakam 57, another Leela of the Lord. One fine day, what happened is, Vapidin Ramasaka Vapidine Ramasakaha, that is along with Balarama, one fine day the Lord went to the forest. And now whenever the Lord went, Gopas, his friends were also there to follow. At that time, what happened is, there was a banyan tree nearby, Bandi Rakam, banyan tree called Bandi Rakam, which was there in the forest. And this was in the forest of Vrindavanam. There a demon came there and he approached Pralambanama. He assumed the form of a fellow Gopa only. So maybe Krishna and all the boys thought that it is one amongst us, and this demon came to kill the Lord. Now the Lord knew about the intentions also, but still what happened is Vibadda Sauhardraha, verse number 4, Dashakam 57, wherein the Lord developed friendship with him, saying that okay, he is one among the Gopa boys, let me develop friendship with him. And somehow what happened is, near that Bandiraka banyan tree, they had a game of wrestling also, a friendly bait that we have. So they had this wrestling. Now all the cowherd boys, they were all well versed in wrestling. And thus the Lord also was a part of that. And two teams were there. And one team was led by Balarama, another team was led by the Lord himself. And now the Asura who was there, Pralambasura, now he was also very smart. He knew about the strength of the Lord because before Pralambasura, many other Asuras were killed by the Lord. So he was very smart. He said that if I'll be in the opposite team, then Krishna will end up killing me. So very smartly he told Krishna that I want to join your team only so that no harm will be caused to him. Now, as now there was a rule. Kalpita Vijetra Vahane Samera Samare Parayuthagam. There was a rule of this game that whoever will be the winner, that winner has to be carried on the shoulders of the one who is defeated, right? So this was the game. And here what happened is Bhaktadasatam. Bhattacharya says you're truly a servant of your devotees, because in this friendly bait that was there, it seems a Sridamnaha. Sridamnaha, yesterday we saw, another name for the childhood friend of Krishna, Sudama. Sudama became victorious and Krishna was defeated, it seems. As per the rules of the game, Krishna carried Sridamnaha, that is Sudama, on his shoulders and went. So Bhaktadasata, he didn't show his power also. For in front of his bhaktas, in front of his friends also, he is always equal in front of everyone. This is shown by this Leela. Thus, each one of them, whoever was winning, they were being carried about, and thus it was going on. Finally, here what happened is, now Pralambasura came in and Balarama. Balarama was in the opposite team. The Pralambasura was defeated by Balarama, and as per the rules, Balarama carried, Pralambasura, he had to carry Balarama. He was a Rakshasa. He carried Balarama far away, it seems, away from the sight of everyone. Now, Balarama, he knew about this. He said, oh, this person is looking suspicious. He's carrying me too far away. And it seems that through his Leela, Balarama started increasing his weight. And that's when the demon, Pralambasura, the boy, could not bear any longer and he came back to his original form. Now, the Asura's height, it seems, was so great. Uchataya Naityadano. From a far distance only, Balarama could see the Lord, it seems. And that's when Balarama decided, now this is the time when I have to put an end to this Pralambasura. He gave him a big blow with his fist and thus crushed him, it seems. We hear how it is Brishadushtam Sapadi Pishtavananam. Just as we crush a fruit and remove the pulp juice out of it, similarly Balarama ended up crushing Pralambasura. Thus Pralambasura was killed. Balarama very smartly killed this Asura and embraced the Lord. Premnatavata, as though it seems that both of them were meeting, and the gods and devas also, gods and all the demigods who were present, they all started showering flowers on the Lord. So here thus Bhattatri concludes that Alambo Bhuvanana Pralambam, just as you are the one who was responsible or through your Veera you carried out the destruction of Pralambasura, you are the support of the world. Alambaha Bhuvananam. Similarly, without any further delay. Lolambaruche, you're also, you can say, your splendor or shine is like a black bee. If you see a black bee also at times, the shine that is there on its body, or a red bee, something like that, it is very shiny, right? So like that, your splendor is also so, you can say, a very beautiful poetic description. It is shining, and in all the three worlds, all the three worlds know about your glory. Similarly, O Lord, without any delay, Kalam Vihaya, Hare Hare Kleshan, please remove all my sufferings. With this, Dashakam 57 comes to an end. Okay, so in the previous Dashakam, slowly what we see is the Lord starts growing up, and now finally Pralambasura is also killed by Balarama. And next, what happens is, one fine day again, as Dashakam 58 begins, again the group of boys they go to the forest, and now it so happened that now the name of this forest was Aishikaha. Aishikakyam was number 1, Dashakam 58. So name of this forest was Aishika, where the group of boys went, and it seems that Dena vai Swairacharaha, the cows started moving out of their own will. They were eagerly waiting for grass, so they started moving a bit forward, it seems. And here it felt that after reaching a certain distance or so, now it was summer. Now in Vrindavanam, if you see Vrindavanam, people could not feel the summer heat, it seems. But today, because they had gone to a different place, that is a Aishikavanam, Aishika forest, there they could actually feel the summer heat. Even the cows could not bear, it seems, and they all just stood, like when it's very hot also, we don't know how to react, right? We just become stunned. So you just stay in a place also. Similarly, everyone stood still, it seems. And finally, here what happened is, now now the cows had already moved ahead. So it seemed that some cows were lost on their way, and that's when now the Gopa boys who were there, they started looking for some cattle were missing because there was a lot of heat or so, so they would have gone away here and there and so on. And while moving about in search of their cattle, they reached to another forest called the Munja forest. Munjaranyam. And there they discovered all these cows who were all standing in distress because of the extreme summer heat. And that's when, again, a wildfire, it broke out. Now this forest fire, we know Agni, it spreads in all directions. That's when all of them, now already due to summer, those cows also, they were half burnt. Now again, due to this, uh, again, now usually when it is extreme summer conditions or so, that's when a forest fire breaks out. So the same thing happened here also. It was already hot outside, moreover to add to that, it started. Why, anyone wants to say something? No. Okay, all of you can hear me? So, anyways, it was hot outside. Moreover, to add to that, the fire also broke out. That's when all of them they surrendered to the Lord, saying that Tvam tapahataram ekam verse number 4. Sharanam upagatas pam tapahartaram ekam. You are the only one who is our savior. You are the only one who will free us from all our sorrows. Also seeking, so all the cows, cattle, the Gopa boys, they all surrendered to the Lord. Now what happened is, it seems that the Lord told all of them to close their eyes, and that's when they found the Lord. He found out where actually the fire was there, and it seems that the Lord moved about here and there also. There were a lot of flowers that were blooming, and this itself was an indication that summer season was in its peak, because in summer season you have a lot of crops also that grow in spring season, summer season, so flowers are there. And that's when it seems that, now here a very beautiful description given by Bhattatri, verse number 7. Tvai vimukham mivochitais vahantam. The intense heat of summer is like the heat of passion, it seems. So here a very beautiful description wherein Bhattatri compares the heat of the summer to over passion that people have. I want to do this, I want to do that. Now being passionate is not wrong, but excess of anything is bad, right? So sometimes we don't even complete even a single thing fully, but I want to do this halfway, I start this halfway, I start that, and everything remains. So Bhattatri compares the heat as if It is compassed with the passion that is there in people's mind. And finally, what happened is, it seems that uh, thus the Lord spent a lot of summertime. The fire was also blown away, and the Lord spent summer in this on the banks of the Yamuna in this beautiful forest. And now, slowly, what happened is now a lot of description is given. Slowly, it seems that rainy season was about to begin, and the boys also they started. Boys, Krishna, all of them started going near the caves of the Govardhana mountain. Now, Govardhana Mount, the name of the mountain was Govardhana. It seems that Govardhana Stutihi, that is there in verse number 9, wherein Govardhana, it also started Kakobistotrakari, it also started hymns and prayers in praise of the Lord. And it seems now how it started, how this Govardhana mountain offered its worship, that is described as Govardhanam. On the Parvata, there were a lot of peacocks, it seems, and all those peacocks started cooing, started humming. They make so by making that noise, that's how they started offering their prayers. Again, a very beautiful description made by Bhattatri, wherein he says that the peacocks they started making such sounds, and this was their way of worshipping. Moreover to that, there were a lot of kadamba flowers, lot of flowers that were blooming, and all of them from the trees that were there in the mountain, from the branches of those trees, all those flowers were falling at the Lord's feet. So this is how even the Govardhana Parvatam was offering its worship to the Lord. Thus you can see Atha Sharadamupetam, Sharada Ritu, spring season has arrived, and now what happened is rivers are full of water, like the pure mind of your devotees. Bhattatri says, just as water is pure, similarly, your devotees, their mind also is always pure with your grace. Thus, O Lord, you have spent a very beautiful time, a very beautiful season in the forest, happily grazing cattle, flowers everywhere also. Similarly, just as everything is good and pleasant around, please Tvam Dehi Me Deha Sukham Deha Saukhyam. Please bless me with good health so that I can also enjoy a beautiful life. With this, Dashakam 58 comes to an end. Dashakam 59, what happened is slowly the Lord started growing. Tadvapurnavakalaya komalam premadohanam sheshamohanam. Okay. Now slowly, just as days kept passing about, the Gopikas, every time they saw the Lord, their minds were captivated, it seems. Now you see the same thing again and again, we feel bored, right? But if people who are close to us, maybe our own children, our own parents, or it can be our own friends also, even if you meet the same person every day, we don't get bored. Whereas looking at somebody, oh, I have to meet this person every day, start hitting our heads. So reaction changes depending on how the opposite person is and how close we are to someone. But in the case of Gopikas, every day their mind used to get captivated towards the Lord, it seems. Oh, how beautiful the Lord looks. Oh, how fresh he looks. Oh, how soft he looks, like a flower also. So like this, the sentiment of love was building in them, and the Lord's form was enchanting to everyone. This form, though for the Gopikas it looked a very lovely form also, or as fresh as a flower, as beautiful as a flower, it was Parachit Mudatmakam. It is that Brahman, Satchit Anandam, that is, it is ultimate bliss, ultimate consciousness, Brahman itself, reality of the world. Jagannatha has come down, but these Gopikas, they showed their utter love, sheer love on their Lord. Next, what happened is now the minds of all these Gopikas, they were all full of love towards the Lord, and they always wanted to see the Lord, it seems. And it seems that even when the Lord used to go to the forest in the morning to graze the cows, and he used to return back in the evening, even that time also they actually felt separation, it seems. Nase hire, they could not bear even this small separation from the Lord. Now, finally, what happened is when the Lord set out, it seems that all the Gopikas used to have their eyes fixed on the Lord. Their minds also would be always on the Lord only. From a distance in the evening, when the Lord returns, they used to wait for the sound of the flute, so that from far away they know that, okay, Krishna is coming now. So, like this, all of them, there were various other activities that were there, and the Gopikas were made very, you can say, they had a very nice time with the Lord, and they were fully engrossed. Now, this we should not feel. A very important thing is, it's not that they're simply attracted towards the Lord also, or the Lord is simply attracted towards them. The entire concept of Rasa Leela of the Gopikas, they are all actually sages. And ultimate prema bhavam that is there, ultimate bhakti, that is the only thing which is shown through this Leelas, or which is shown through these stories of the Gopikas also. So bhakti is something which is which binds us together. Now these Gopikas, they didn't know much. What they knew was only Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. That's what they only knew, and they surrendered to the Lord. They showed their bhakti in their easiest possible way. They didn't know a lot of shlokas to chant. They didn't know a lot of pujas to do, sacrifices to do. They didn't know to do a lot of tapasya. But what they knew was we have to always think about Krishna. So prema bhavam that is there through this leela, the Lord tries to show to the world that you don't have to go out of the way to reach me, even by doing your everyday things like the Gopikas did. And while they were doing their everyday household work also, still their mind used to get distracted. But at that time, the Lord used to say that you keep doing a very simple message that is conveyed is you keep doing your duties, you keep doing your work, but whatever you do, surrender all that to me. Just as Krishna highlights in the Gita also to Arjuna. So, wherein if this amount, you can say, if this tendency of surrender is there, then the Lord accepts everything. He again and again, he highlights saying that you don't have to go and do something great in order to attain me. Through my own leelas, through my own avatara stories, you get so many examples. So, this Gopika episode is something which is very, very important. Now, it seems that now the Venunadam that was there, it made even animals and birds also used to be stunned, it seems, by the Venunadam of the Lord, and even the damsels, Apsaras in heaven also, they were also attracted towards the Lord. Now it seems that when the Lord used to play the flute, Venurandra Taralangulidalam, verse number 6, Dashakam 59, just as the tender hands of the Lord used to move, tender fingers used to move over the flute, along with that, he used to also tap his feet, it seems. And this pose that was there, that is a Vedunada pose of the Lord, all the Gopikas who were there, they used to visualize this pose in their mind again and again, and that's how they felt very happy. Finally, now the birds and animals also could see the form of the Lord directly. Even the celestial Apsaras also could see the form of the Lord. And even the earth, Bhumi Devi also used to be eager, it seems, when the Lord will come out of his house so that he steps out and keeps his feet on me. So, like this, everyone was waiting for the Lord to come. And all the Gopikas, they were very much Dhanya Dhanya Midinanumanayan. Wherein Bhattatri says that they are nothing but blessed, blessed, and blessed. Dhanya Dhanyam. Finally, Bhattatri says that Apipeyamadharamritam kada. It seems that the Gopikas used to feel very greedy, it seems. Greedy in the sense that they used to keep longing. The Vedonadam the Lord is doing, they used to keep on do that. It was as if Amrita Rasam or Raktam that, nectar that was flowing from the mouth of the Lord, and these Gopikas used to wait eagerly. And they used to feel sad, it seems, or they used to be very greedy because they wanted the Lord near them. And this is how day after day, Pratyaham cha puna ityamangana, every day it seems that these Gopikas kept on, their attachment towards the Lord kept on increasing. And that's when, in their worldly household things also, they started losing interest. Now, here Bhattatri says that Ragastavat Jayadehi Swabhavat. Now, attachment is something, Swabhava, which is Manusha Swabhava, Manava Swabhava. Even to non-living things also, if you can develop attachment, what to talk about the Lord himself, right? But so attachment is something which can definitely cause troubles. Like here also, the Gopikas had to face some loss. They lost their attention from their household work, worldly life also, and due to over attachment, moksha also will not be attained. But Bhattatri says that tasam tu ekam tadvayam labdhamasid bhagyam bhagyam pahima marutesha. For the Gopikas, attachment was towards you, O Lord, and this was nothing but this served their purpose. There is one is their own natural swabhava, they cannot get rid of that. At the same time, they could attain moksha because they were attracted to you. So this kind of attachment, even we should also develop towards you. This is a prayer which Bhattatri mentions in this Dashakam. Finally, he says that, O Lord Apahima Marutesha, kindly save me, kindly free me from my ailments, O Lord of Guruvayur. Which this Dashakam 59 comes to an end. Next, Dashakam 60. Okay, till here is everyone following? Now, next what happened is how these girls who were there, the Gopikas who were there, they started doing Girija Puja. That is, they started worshipping goddess Katyayani every day on the banks of the Yamuna. Now, all the beautiful girls who were there, Tavanama Katharata, they used to chant the names of the Lord, it seems. And then later, they used to go and worship goddess Girija. They used to offer a lot of offerings also, and they used to pray that Daidananda Sutaha Bhavetiti, that the son of Nanda, Lord Krishna, should become my husband. That's the reason we do the Katyayani Vratam even now, girls, ladies also who have to get married. And it seems that the Lord was moved by compassion. He said that these girls are doing a lot of puja and they have only one desire, that they want me as their husband. That too, why they want is because they want me to stay with them always. And it seems that the Lord, with a desire to bless them, they went to the river bank. That's when the Gopi Vastrabharanam is this Dashakam. So the Gopikas, the girls had kept their clothes there and seeing the Lord, it seems now they were taking bath also and suddenly the Lord comes in. So feeling so they felt very ashamed and that's when the Lord what he did is he took their clothes away and quickly he climbed the branch of a tree and he called each one of them and said that come here and take your clothes. Now the girls were confused because they could not go. That's when they used to call Aiji, Vachiram, Kishora, oh small boy, why you're doing like this with us? We are all your maids also. We are all your dasis. Please, Pradesha Ambaram, please give us back our clothes. And thus the Lord, it seems that he gave them a smile also. And it seems now why this was being done was this was again a Leela in front of the this was a Leela which was done by the Lord, wherein they were all actually purified by heart, it seems, because of the ultimate bhakti that they had towards the Lord, and they had surrendered to the Lord altogether. And the Lord also with joy, he gave them back their clothes. And this giving back of clothes, this why this Leela was done of stealing the clothes is he stole all the evil intentions that were there. This is represented by the act of stealing clothes. And when he returns them back, it seems that he returned them with all their wishes and blessings being fulfilled. And as a promise also that all your wishes will be fulfilled. So this was just a leela that was done by the Lord. Further, he told the girls that I know that what is your desire. Viditam nanuva manishitam vaditaraha. And he tells that I know what is your prayer. I will definitely give you a proper response. That's when we will meet on a night in the moonlight on the banks of the Yamuna. That's when Rasa Krida takes place. Thus he tells the girls. And while the Lord was speaking, the girls felt as if honey and nectar was dripping from the Lord's mouth. And they looked at the face of the Lord again and again, and that's how slowly all of them went home. Thus, Bhattatri concludes this Dashakam saying that all these Gopikas are blessed and they used to continue to roam the woods every day, it seems. They used to go and take a bath in the Yamuna, hoping that the Lord will come and bless them like He came all of a sudden. So, thus, O Lord Hari, Hare Haratvarayame Sakalama Sakalamaya. Thus, you have so much of Karuna. So, immediately, please put an end to all my ailments. So, with this Dashakam also comes to an end. Okay, stop here.